Yeah.
Yeah. So my number one then, it is indeed Titanfall, Xbox One. Final version. Obviously, we spoke about it at length, talking about the beta, but here it is, the final game. So, what more to add? In the final game, there is an option that's called campaign, and if you didn't know better, you might think that's your standard single-player bollocks that you get with with a FPS game. But mercifully, it's not. It is a multiplayer campaign where you play through a series of multiplayer games. Specifically across a set number of maps. You play it twice, really. You play it once as the IMC, once as the militia, and the story runs through it. I could play this campaign 7,000 times and not be able to tell you what happens in this story. Most of the story is yelled at you mid-game by people in the corner of the screen. You can't concentrate on what they're telling you while you're trying to play Titanfall. Titanfall moves about 7 billion miles an hour. Yeah. I didn't care what they were trying to say. All I felt was like, whatever I'm doing is really important, so I must make sure that I do it. And that was fine, because cleverly, it doesn't get in the way. The cutscenes at the beginning that... in the beginning of a Titanfall match, you drop in the ship and you jump out. Yeah. So normally here you get a 10-second cutscene of someone yelling at you. It's like a South African guy's like, "We've got to kill all the people. It's very important." And then you just jump out, and then that's the game. And then he's talking to you. "Oh, I can't believe they're attacking." And yeah, honestly, a million times when you play as the militia, there's a drunk guy, but it doesn't matter because it's so quick. They seem like a lot of those scenes only exist so there's something to stick in a trailer. It doesn't outstay its welcome anymore. It's inoffensively rubbish. I'm sure no one will take offence to that. It is what it is. But the thing is, it's not rubbish because what you're doing in the campaign is playing Titanfall multiplayer, and Titanfall multiplayer is fucking amazing. Of course. There's not a huge amount in here that's not in the beta in terms of gameplay. You have to play through the campaign to unlock the 3 different Titan types. I think we played as the Atlas type, which is kind of the sort of Johnny middle school. I don't know what that means. Like the average Titan, there's a Strider, which is a quick one that has 3 dash bars and low health, and there's an Ogre, which is a heavy one with one. You can fill in the blanks there, but it's just more choice. It's cool. Beyond that, it's still that fucking rapid fire parkour moments, explosions, drama, tight gameplay that we've already played in the beta, just with a ton of maps, all of which pretty much unanimously are excellently designed. They don't feel like maps from anything else because they're designed with that level of verticality that you need for the way that the parkour works. A few shout-outs to a couple of different things that are on the maps. Some of them have big gun turrets that you can hack by just jumping on, just hacking, holding X and hacking it, and you can take control, and they'll fire at enemy pilots and enemy Titans. You can kill them with Titans as well. So some of the maps, people will fight over control of those, which adds an extra layer. And some have zip lines on, and because you've got a jetpack, you can actually move up the zip lines as well as down. You can leap off zip lines and leap onto other zip lines. Unsurprisingly, it's really satisfying and very cool, and just adds another layer to everything that's on there already. We've already played Attrition, which is Team Deathmatch. We've already played Hardpoint, which is Domination, and we've already played Last Titan Standing. There are only 2 new modes on top of that. There's Pilot Hunter, which I found probably the least enjoyable of the modes because it is the same as Attrition, but the only thing that counts are kills against other pilots being human players. And it kind of had a bit more of a Call of Duty vibe to it than the others because I've never been amazing at gun on gun, and I love the fact in Titanfall that killing grunts adds. You feel like even if you're having a shitty game, you can kind of just start concentrating on taking out some grunts or getting a new Titan and switching things up, taking out other Titans, and you always feel like you're contributing to your team's effort. Whereas in Pilot Hunter, if you're not good at taking out other human players, and I'm not great at it, it's I just didn't dig it as much. I think that's where the more hardcore competitive players will probably end up. It's still really good, obviously, and I still had amazing matches in that. And then the other mode is Capture the Flag, which is standard 2-flag fare, the type of flag where you have to make sure your own one's at your base in order to be able to capture the enemies. You've played it a million times before, but obviously this game has free running in it, so Capture the Flag is basically amazing. First to 6.
Does it still have the? Is it still the same system of getting a Titan?
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
So strategic. So okay, I see. So you can use the booster. Okay.
And then you can capture the flag and jump on the back of a friend's Titan, and they carry you across. And then the way the levels are designed, so you can. There's one level called Rise, where at a certain point you can basically free run across the entire level with a flag, if you're good enough. And I really enjoy Capture the Flag. I'm desperate to play it with the team of people that I know. I'm still having fun not doing that, even though basically nobody is speaking on mic. But the game's amazing. It is good. Well, it's better than the beta. It's there's more depth to the unlocks. There's more weapons. There's more burn cards. There's more what you call them, ordnance and that sort of stuff. And it just offers the type of online multiplayer it feels incredibly fresh and new within that space, and unbelievably confident and well constructed. It is the game that everyone was hoping it would be. It's fucking amazing, and I will be playing it for a long time. All I have to do is one criticism is that it just isn't quite technically where it should be on Xbox One, and in a minute it just isn't. The resolution being slightly lower than you'd like, okay, it doesn't matter. I'd like it to be a bit sharper, but it doesn't matter. But you'd assume that kind of cut in resolution was to accommodate a super smooth frame rate, and I have to say there are times where it really does kind of start to crawl when a lot of stuff's going on, and it almost feels like it's not quite working right at times. The frame rate gets bad. It gets quite choppy, and sometimes your movement when you're circling gets a bit choppy, and it can get a little bit headachy at times. And then other times it'll be super smooth, silky smooth. It's not game breaking. It doesn't massively spoil the enjoyment of the action. It's a little bit, like I say, a little bit headache inducing at times. A little bit, just like it had me looking at the very expensive black box that I've got sitting there and going, "Come on, surely." Just sort it out. I played it on a PC with the same innards as you, and it's running a lot better. So what's going on here? And for the game that's going to be the system seller, and it is still going to be the system seller, it's just a bit of a shame that it's not quite as perfect as perhaps it should be. But it's not quite nitpicking because it is fairly obvious. But it doesn't. I mean, I've played the game for hours and hours already, and I'll play the game for hours and hours and hours more. Even if it doesn't get patched or improved, it doesn't stop the game being truly amazing. I say it's got like the precision and the kind of confidence of Call of Duty, but it's got the soul of Halo, man. The heroism, the drama of Halo, and then the fucking carnage and chaos of Battlefield all rolled into one, but still feels new at the same time. They've smashed it. They've absolutely smashed it. Roll on the weekend. It's Titanfall time.